everybody. Surprise! I'm coming on to do a live during the day. I usually save these for about 9 o'clock at night when most of you are on. Oh, I need to switch this. It's sideways, huh? Let's see. If you get motion sickness, close your eyes. I'm going to turn the camera. So hopefully we can get this going the right way. So hold on. I may need to change it again and see. Let's see. Yep, now it's upside down. Let's try the other way. Close your eyes again. Hopefully that's going to be correct for you guys. As you pop on, say hello. There we go. Perfect. So as you guys pop on, say hello. I am going to be doing a special edition vintage truck with you guys today. Now I'm going to be using a non-Chalk Couture board, so I don't know how this is going to go. Sometimes these surfaces are a little questionable, so you have to kind of play around with them. So I've got a neat little trick that someone showed me, so hopefully that will work out. And I'm going to use a couple of different transfers today. Of course, I'm going to start with our most popular, our vintage truck, which as you can tell, mine is very well loved. I love this transfer, use it all the time. So I'm going to get started today. Of course, I'm going to be using a couple of Valentine's colors. So I'm just going to get those out real quick. I think I'm going to do the pink, which is called Cherry Blossom. I'm going to do our Brilliant White, of course. And I'm also going to be using our gray color Storm. And then later I'll be doing our Hearts and the Candy Apple. All right, so I did not prep any of this so that you guys could see it from start to finish exactly how it works today. So when you get your vintage truck, it comes in 2 pieces. So I'm going to start with the bottom piece right here. I'm going to try to put this as low as possible because I want to put words up at the top. So I am going to fuzz this, and I'm actually just going to fuzz this on a terry cloth towel right here. Show you guys how that process works. Now, all of our transfers typically come with instructions, and I'll show you that on the back, that tell you how to peel, apply, remove, clean, dry, and store our transfers because they are reusable 8 to 12 times. So when you cut your transfers apart, they come with these little white cut lines that show you exactly where to cut them. You'll start to peel your transfer off. When you peel your transfer, because this is fabric, you want to make sure that you peel either left to right or top to bottom, never corner to corner. So I'm just going to peel this up, get it started. Remove it from the reusable backing, and then I will set this aside. This has a shiny side and a matte side. You always want to make sure that you apply your transfer to the shiny side. Lots of designers write on the back so that they remember which side to put that back on. All right, so when we talk about fuzzing, all we mean is that we're putting a little lint on the back of this green area because all of this green area has adhesive on the back of it. And this clear area actually has a silk screen going through it, and that's what you push your paste through. I'll see if I can bring that closer so you guys can see that silk screen there. That's what your paste goes through, and that allows for a nice even application. So I'm going to remove this. Now, because this transfer has already been used, it's not as sticky as a brand new transfer, but it is still quite sticky, as you can see. Very, very sticky. So we pick up a little bit of lint so that it breaks up that adhesive, and it's a little easier to remove from our boards. So I'm just going to peel this off, and I'll set the towel aside for the next one. And I'm just going to put this down here, and I'm going to try to go as low as possible, but still be able to have enough room to press all that silk screen area and the adhesive around it onto the board so that it doesn't bleed underneath while still trying to get it straight. So I'm going to peel this up from the actual surface there so that I can make sure that I get these air bubbles out that are right here around the silkscreen area, because if you don't, it'll bleed underneath and you won't get those nice, crisp, clean lines that you want in your project. Now, you certainly don't have to press everywhere around this green area because our transfers are pressure sensitive. Everywhere you press is going to stick. You just need to get the area around the silk screen area that you're going to be using. And I'll let you know ahead of time, hey Devonna, this is probably going to be a longer video than you guys are used to because it's several steps of layering. How you been, Devonna? Okay, so I'm going to open my white. I'm just going to grab an application, a makeup applicator. It's plastic. Hey, Kelly. I took away the light, so hopefully the glare is better this time. So I'm hoping you guys can see better. And I turned the camera long ways so you could see the whole project. So hopefully it's all in there and you guys can see. Let me see if I turn it this way, if I get a better view. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay. So I am just going to stir that up. Now your paste should have a cake batter-like consistency, the consistency of yogurt. If it doesn't, all you do is spritz it with a little bit of distilled water and mix it up. Since it is water soluble, adding water to it does loosen it up. Now our paste goes on wet and dries hard so that it will be smudge proof and it won't come off until you're ready to take it off, and you just simply apply water to it, let it sit, and wipe it off. I'm going to actually put a little water in my sink because I did not do that before I jumped on the video. And then what I'll do is when I am done with these pieces, I'll just toss them in water until I'm ready to clean them up after the video. All right, so now I'm going to use one of our squeegees. This is our angled squeegees. It's great for your mid-size projects, for areas that have the same color. It's also really nice for the straight side right here. If you wanted to run it across just to make sure that you've got all the air bubbles out of your transfer so that you don't get any bleed through. So I'm just going to load a little bit onto this angled tip right here and apply that to the silkscreen area. Now, this is not like painting. With painting, you kind of tend to have more, I think, of a gentle stroke. With this paste, what you're doing is you're actually pushing it through the silk screen. So you can be a little more firmer with your hand than you normally would be with, I think, painting. So I'm just applying this paste, pushing it through, and then what I'll do is I'll go back and scrape off the excess and put it back in my jar. I'm going to share this real quick with my VIP group. There we go. So now that the holidays are over, everybody's getting back to normal. I'm the same way. I know the holidays were absolutely crazy for me, and it seems like it takes almost the entire month of January for everything to calm down. Do y'all agree? Is it calm for you guys? It's been hectic for me. Of course, I create my own. I create my own chaos, that's for sure. We just got a rescue puppy. His name is Kai. He's a little Yorkie. You will probably hear him in the background. He is very mischievous. He likes to get into stuff all the time. So he, you think your house is clean until you have a toddler or a puppy, right? And then they come back with stuff and the first thing I say is, where did you get that? So, I mean, it's been like having a baby in the house all over again. So I'm just going to lift this up And I will have to dry in between projects. Now remember I said this is not a Chalk Couture board. You can tell right there, it lifted a little bit. But I just pushed it back down and then I went back over that silkscreen area to push that paste through. And it did just fine. So I'm going to blow dry this and I'm going to close my white so that I don't get paste everywhere like I just did there. But it's easy cleanup, water soluble. That's what makes it so great, right? Okay, so now I'm going to dry this area and then I'll apply the next one. Now I want to make sure that this layer is going to be really dry because I'm going to chalk right over the top of it. And because our adhesive is so strong, sometimes it does lift the paste underneath if it's not dry all the way. Or if you're using a surface that is not really a quality surface, which this one is not, unfortunately. So I'm just going to test it, make sure that it's dry. Next, I'm going to do a little trick that I found, and that is adding a little bit of paste wax to the top of your design, and that's what I'm going to add here, the Johnson's paste wax. I'm just going to put a little bit of that, and it's just a paste, onto this cloth. And I'm just going to lightly dab over that design. Now this will dry clear, so I'm not really concerned with it messing up the design. As long as I don't rub it, it should be just fine. But what that's going to do is it's going to keep, hopefully, it's going to keep this from lifting from before. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to take a little bit of that off. Now you can get this Johnson's paste wax in the cleaning aisle and they sell it everywhere. You can also use, I think it's Men Wax. They have a paste wax as well that you can use. It's not really important what brand you use. I've used them both. My Johnson's paste wax was just open, so that's what I'm using today. Okay, so now that I've got that applied, I'm going to put the lid back on because it is very strong. And I'll set that aside because I may need to do that for my next layer. Okay, so for my next layer, I'm going to actually have to cut it out because it is from our winter truck add-on and it's the buffalo print. So I'm going to take this out of here, and this package is reusable. So I'm going to take this out of here and then I'm going to cut it on the cut line that I showed you guys earlier. Is the video too dark? Are you guys able to see okay? Give me some hearts or some thumbs up if you're able to see the video just fine. Thank you. Okay, so let me cut this out real quick. And again, this is our Vintage Truck add-on. Our most popular transfer is the Vintage Truck. So we have seasonal add-on packs that go with it. It's sold separately, so you are perfectly able to just do the truck. But these add-ons let you change it up and make it seasonal, and it's a lot of fun. I know a lot of people saw the vintage truck done in buffalo plaid during Christmas, and it was in the red and black. So I'm going to take that and do a little spin on it today. And I'm going to do this truck in white and gray and pink for Valentine's Day. Now, because this buffalo plaid is from a brand new transfer, I need to make sure that I fuzz the back of it, because it will lift. Like I told you guys earlier, it will pull that paste up that I just applied. So I'm going to fuzz this a couple of times and pick up plenty of lint, so hopefully it'll break that adhesive up and I won't have a problem with that. Now I do have this in stock. I also have the vintage truck in stock. But if you are looking to get yourself any of these products, you can certainly find them on my website, and that is chalkcouture.com/chalkingwithnikki. So I'm just going to add this, and I'm going to try to line it up. And because our transfers have the silk screen on them and it's clear, they're easier to line up than you would a stencil, I think. At least that's been my experience. So that side I've got lined up pretty well. And then you just want to kind of maneuver it as you're going and line up the other side. Looks like I have a ball of lint on the back of this, so I'm just going to peel that up and remove that lint ball, and then I'll push it back down. And again, I'm just going to simply go over this right where I'm going to chalk. All right, so now I'm going to use the gray. This is called Storm. It's a really deep gray. Bring it closer so you guys can see. This tends to look like it's just a little thick, not too much, so I'm just going to give it a couple of spritz and then stir it up really well. Now, our paste has a natural pigments in it, and when left sitting, they do separate, so you want to make sure that you mix them up really well so that you get those pigments mixed together, and it's a nice, beautiful color all the way throughout your paste. Okay. All right, now I'm going to grab another squeegee. Now, these are our squeegees. You can also find them on my website. They're a soft silicone, and they will not damage your silk screen or your transfer. They're flexible, so they're more flexible, I think, than a spatula that you use to cook with. So it's a really nice soft silicone. So I'm going to apply that paste, and again, pushing it through that silk screen area. Everywhere that's white is where the paste is going to go. So if you get a transfer and you're not sure what it's going to look like, just remember the white is going to show your color, or the clear is going to show your color. The green is going to block that color from going through there. Sometimes that helps to know when you're trying to figure out which layer goes first. You just want to make sure that you cover up that entire silk screen area. Sometimes they get missed, so you just want to kind of look that over before you lift your transfer up. And you can always lift slowly so that if there's something wrong, you can lay that transfer back down and just go over it all over again. Now, as I'm going over this and I'm pulling off that excess, it leaves a couple of little drag lines, so I just go back over it lightly and smooth those out so that they don't transfer down to the surface below. All right, let's lift that up and see if it took And if it didn't, I'll have to do it in one color. But I'm hoping that it will. So I'm just lifting slow, like a peel and reveal. I love it every single time I do it. It did lift a little bit right there on the white, but that's okay. I can just put that back down, wet my finger a little bit, and go back over that. I'll lift it and see if it fixed the problem. Pretty much. Let me do the other side real quick. Here we go. And it is peeling that up a little bit. That's why I'm going so slow. I'm trying to put that back down on that board. Like I said, this is not a Chalk Couture board. This is a cheaper board that I just picked up. And you'll see it lifted a little bit, but it kind of gives it that rustic look. That shabby chic, I think. So I'm not too concerned about it. And I'm just going to dry that real quick. And then I'll move on to the final layer of the truck. Now you'll notice that there are some variations in the pattern down here. The transfer is designed to look that way so that it looks like it's been kind of gone over with, oh, what do you call it? It's, think of your words, Nikki. Sandpaper. That's the word I'm looking for. So it almost looks like it's been gone over with sandpaper. Now I am going to go back and I'm going to add a little bit more of the paste wax on top of this so I can kind of prevent it from lifting so bad. You don't want to use a lot. I just use a little bit and kind of mix it around there. Flatten it out so I don't get big lumps of it. And then I'm just going to dab it again right on top of this design. Now I have not had to do this with a Chalk Couture board before. Just gonna say that. Not to say, you know, that other products aren't as well, but I have not had to do this. And like I said, this is a cheap board, so just keep that in mind if you're buying your surfaces from other craft places. Not all chalk boards are made alike. Okay. So now that I've got that on there, I'm going to add the top layer. You guys are so quiet. No questions? Make sure you post them in comments. I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm going to try to line this up. I'm going to kind of fold it, I think, in half a little bit because it wants to stick to that bottom of the bottom of the board there. There we go. All right, so now I think I need to move it up just a tad. I didn't take into consideration the tires when I put it on here, the first layer, which I should have, but I didn't. But that's okay. We'll be missing part of the tires. Okay, so now I'm going to go back and I'm gonna add the pink to it. So I'm gonna use Cherry Blossom. It's a really pretty light pink. Again, I'm gonna grab that Cosmetic Stir, which Chalk Couture is coming out with their own. Yay! No more having to find these on Amazon. I can order them directly from my company. I'm so excited about that. They're also going to be coming out with their own towel. One side is going to be terry cloth and the other side is going to be microfiber. So you can have a multi-use towel. I'm really excited about that. All right, so I'm just loading a little bit of this Cherry Blossom onto the squeegee. And then I'm going back over this. Now this is going to be just a slight contrast to the white. It's a very, very pale pink. And then I'm going to add the hearts and the words to the top. Can you guys believe that it's almost February already? We're halfway through the month of January. Doesn't it seem like it's flying by? It seems crazy that it's already almost February. They've already got Valentine's Day stuff out. I think I was somewhere and they already had St. Patrick's Day stuff out. Crazy. Oh, missed a spot right there. So again, I'm just going back, smoothing this out so it doesn't leave any drag lines across the project. And then I'm going to peel it up, and hopefully, I'm going to peel really lightly because I don't want it to pull up that bottom. And it tends to happen with this board, but I think it's okay. So far, so good. Yay! It looks so cute, you guys. It's gonna go perfect with my pink and gray gnome that I made. I'll show you guys that in a minute. I'll have to get my son to get it down for me. It's up on the shelf and I'm too short. So all I'm doing is going back and removing it. I got it on the frame a little bit. So I'm just gonna wipe that off. Now, I'm gonna blow dry that real quick and then I get to add the hearts and dress it up a little bit. Now that the truck is down, let me dry it real quick on low. Can you guys see the pink in that? I'll bring it closer. Hopefully you can. It's really, really cute. I love it with the gray and the white. So cute. Okay, so now I'm going to start adding the words. And hopefully they will fit. Hopefully. All right, so let me cut this. Now this is our spring truck add-on, and it's, like I said, it is available on my website, so you guys can check it out. You can either go to my Chalk Couture website, which is chalkcouture.com/chalkingwithnikki, or you can go to my own website, which is bythelakewithnikki.com. All right, so let me peel this up and then we'll add the words. What color do you think I should do the words in? Do you think I should do them in gray, pink, white, red? Let me know what you guys think. Let me lay this down real quick and get my towel. White. I think white will be pretty because I think that I'm going to do the hearts in the red, I think. Actually, I think I'll do an ombre for the hearts. I think that would be really pretty. I think you guys would like to see that. All right. So again, this is new. So I'm just making sure that I pick up enough fuzz that it'll release from this board. All right. So how many of you watching are in my VIP group? If you're in my VIP group, do me a favor and post a 1. Okay. Perfect. All right, let me grab the white. Hey, Lila. Kelly, Lila. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. I know I don't typically come on at this time. Hey, Jennifer. I don't usually come on at this time, so I appreciate you guys tuning in. Did you guys get to see the gnome video I posted yesterday? Love it. I think I'm going to come on there and do a live for the other hat and show you guys exactly how that's done. So if you're watching and you're not in my VIP group, you may want to make sure that you get in there. I did a gnome tutorial and I added free patterns into the file section of my group. So if you love gnomes as much as I do, you'll want to go in there and check that out. And like I said, the patterns are free. They're a PDF. You can print them, and there's several sizes, and you can make any gnome your heart desires. All right, so I'm just scraping that off. Now I'm just going to lift it off. And then I'll set this aside in some water. There are so many layers to that one. I'm running out of sink space. Oh, I didn't see that last comment. Hold on. Oh, you're welcome. I'll have to call Gavin in here in a second and have him come in and pull that gnome down for you guys to show you the one I'm going to do live. That one over here. The pink one. Thank you. I got a smear. I'll touch that up later when it's dry. No worries. All right, so now that that is done, I've got most of this done, and all I'm going to do is add some hearts. So we have some cute hearts that come with that transfer as well. There's Easter in there. There's a few shamrocks for St. Patrick's Day. It's really cute. So I am going to add this. But first, again, I need to, I think, go over, because this lays like that, I'm going to need to add just a little bit more of this paste wax, I think, to the top of this truck so that it doesn't come up. And I'm not pushing very hard, I'm just lightly going over that so that it doesn't lift it. And then I'm going to go back and kind of wipe it off the chalkboard. And that may have been what made it lift earlier, is that I had that paste wax was on the actual chalkboard and made it lift. So be mindful of that when you use it. It's a new technique for me today, and I thought, hey, why not try it live with you guys, right? Okay, so now that I've got the hearts, I'm going to show you guys how to do an ombre real quick. Just picking up that lint, and then I'm going to peel it off, and I'm going to do it one more time. All right, so for this one, I'm going to lay this right here, I think. Okay. Hopefully, I have that low enough. I think I do. I think it's right on the edge of that truck. So I'm going to go over these hearts. And then I'm going to do a couple of different stripes to show you guys how to do the ombre. So I am going to, I've got my red. So I'm going to mix that up, make sure it's the right consistency. Because again, it needs to be the same consistency as cake batter. Oh, this one's perfect. I use this a lot already. So for Christmas, and then I'd done a couple of Easter or Valentine's boards already. So, all right, so I'm going to get myself 3 different squeegees. Now you can certainly have one squeegee, wash it, and go back and use it. I just happen to have a lot of them. Okay, so I'm going to start, and I'm going to start with the red. So I'm just going to put a stripe in. So when you do your ombre, you're just adding your stripes. So because I have 3 different ones, I'm going to have 3 different stripes. Next, I'm going to do my pink. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do my white over here at the end. Right? So I'm going to get it pretty close, not all the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my finger, just a little bit of water on here, and then I'm going to go back and I'm going to swirl them together. Then I'm going to wet another finger and I'm going to go over here and I'm going to swirl these. Now the pink and the white, you're not going to be able to tell quite so much on camera. But all it does is it gives it a nice swirled look. Almost like marbling. So that it gives it a different color. Now you could do your stripes this way, you could do your stripes this way, which I think would actually look better. But I think, you know, just for purposes today, doesn't really matter, that you can do this. I could certainly lay this transfer back down, take that off if I didn't like it, and redo it. I've got a few that didn't quite come out the way I want it. So I can certainly line those up. Lay that back down and then add a little paste to my finger, just a little, and then go back and add that just to pick up a little bit more color, and then peel that right back up. Didn't quite line it up perfectly, but it doesn't matter. You get the gist of exactly how to do ombre, right? What do you guys think? I am a, I like lines and I like definitely order. So ombre is not my favorite technique. So if you don't like it, you can just wipe it off and then do it all over again. Whatever you choose, that is the beauty of this project and these products. Nothing has to be permanent. If you don't like it, take it off. That is the beauty of this not being paint. It's a lot more user-friendly than a paint would be, right? The only thing you want to make sure when you take it off, try not to get the area that you don't want. So you need to go slow, right? And then you'll need to go back and dry your board so you can do it all over again. Which is what I'm doing. I want the hearts, I think, to go more layered this way than this way. So I'm going to redo it and show you guys how easy it is to do that. So now that I've got that all off, I'm going to dry my board real quick and then let it cool. Easy to fix. So I'm just grabbing, I'm going to set this board aside because I'm going to have to clean this transfer before I put it back on to my board. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on this towel again, because I'm just going to use this towel again to fuzz the back of it. And then I'm just going to clean the front of it with a Clorox wipe. Any disinfectant wipe will do. That's how you clean your transfers. I don't have to worry about this messing up my towel. This is not one of my good kitchen towels, and this paste is washable anyway, so I don't have to worry too much about that. The red does tend to stain more, I would say, than anything else. It's the weirdest colors, like yellow stains pretty bad, things like that, but typically you don't have that much of a problem. So now that I have that clean, I'm just going to go back and I'm going to fold this over and pat it dry so that I can go ahead and reuse this again. So you don't have to wait. Like when you clean your transfer, you turn them upside down in water, you smear the paint off, and then you go back with a Clorox wipe. And then you leave them upside down to dry naturally. But if you're going to reuse this quickly, you don't have to do that. So it's picked up plenty of lint. So I'm going to add this to my board all over again. And this time I'm going to do it a different way. You just want to make sure, there we go, that when you place it, you're getting it where you want it, right? All right, so before I striped this way. So this time I'm going to stripe catty corner like this. And I might even do the white, I don't know, maybe the red on the bottom, like it was before, right? So it kind of looks, as it's blowing away, it's losing its color. I kind of like that. So I'll tell you another trick. So when you are doing several steps to your paste color, you want to make sure that you've got a nice thick paste color down there, and you don't want to scrape off the excess yet because our paste tends to dry quickly. So you want to make sure that you leave it enough on there so that it stays wet and it doesn't dry on you. All right, so now I've got that down there. Now I'm going to put the white. Give it more of a swoop, I think, coming this way. All right, now I'm going to wet my finger and go back and do this. I'll use another finger for this side. Make sure it's not too wet. You just want it damp, not dripping water, right? All right, so now, let me smear that white through that last heart there. I'm gonna lift this up and I'm pulling really gently. There we go. I like that so much better, don't you guys? I like that one. It was too straight up and down before, I think. Yeah, exactly, Kelly. I like that. And I like it with the pink and the gray, which I'll turn on. I'll do a better picture for you guys so you can see it later, and I'll post it in the comments. But I'm just going to dry this real quick. On low, on low. I got a couple of little water spots right there that I want to make sure that I clean up so they don't mess up my word. There we go. And I think this one is going to go really perfect with my gnome on my mantle. What do you guys think? Right by my fireplace. Isn't he the cutest? I just love him. This is the gnome that I think I'm going to go in my VIP group. Probably either this weekend or next week, and do a live to show you guys how to do this particular hat. So, if you're not in my VIP group, make sure that you post VIP. And if you have been watching and you're interested in doing Chalk Couture as a business, just put info in the comments and I'll be glad to send you some information about joining Chalk Couture. I hope you guys enjoyed hanging out with me today. Thanks so much for joining me in the middle of the day. And I'm going to clean up my mess and get this set up so I can post a really cute picture for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you guys soon for another tutorial. Have a great day.